What's up, guys? So I got a good request asking to make a video about boxing and MMA and how to get your boxing right for MMA because it is one of the most important things in MMA because of little gloves. And there's a few different ways that I recommend getting your boxing on point for MMA. One is you have to, this is a broad answer, but one is you have to focus big time on defense because that was the problem in my career, honestly, is lack of defense. And I don't blame some of the coaches I've worked with. I don't blame all of them. I blame my original coach I worked with that taught no defense and bad technique. And I was just such a natural fighter. I was able to make stuff work and win in the UFC and win at a high level until I ran into the top 10 guys. And like I said, I don't blame my other coaches because they didn't create the problem, right? But that is a big one. I would say for boxing specifically, because I started off as a boxer first, right? The first 2 years are crucial. If you have bad technique, it's going to take you twice as long to fix that technique. So you need to focus on technique, keeping your hands up, your chin tucked, moving your head off center line, footwork, repetitions. You need to rep the same 10, 15 moves over and over and over and master these. So you develop basic boxing for sure, basic fundamentals for even if you were just boxing, and maybe even take some amateur boxing fights before you go to MMA would be a good advice as well if you're new into the game, right? I would also say once you get some good boxing experience, one of the best things you can do specifically for MMA and boxing is this. For boxing and MMA is spar someone. Obviously, it doesn't have to be 100% unless you're better than them. If you're way more skilled than your sparring partner, you can let them go hard as they want, right? But let them kickbox and you just box and practice landing your hands because that's something boxing and kickboxing and MMA is just different. The range is just different with MMA striking and boxing and kickboxing and boxing. Just the range is different in general. Even more so in MMA though, because people in kickboxing will still stand in front of you a little bit. This is the way they fight if you're wearing big gloves. But with little gloves, people move a lot more. It's more of a footwork in and out, not standing there exchanging, trading a bunch with 4-ounce gloves. Because someone eventually is going to get knocked out, most likely doing that if you're in the habit of, or two people are just fighting each other and just trading blows. Most of the time someone gets caught clean with little gloves. So having someone kick at you is a great option. Like let's say you even spar 70% and you're only boxing, they're kickboxing, and you have to step off of leg kicks. You have to be able to come back in. You have to be able to feint and get inside. And then once you get inside, you have to land and then get out without getting kicked on the way out or kicked on the way in. That's one of the best things I know specifically for MMA is working on the range of landing hands, but being able to, by closing the distance in kickboxing range, because boxing range and kickboxing range is so much different. It's a way wider distance between each other. It can be hard to do if you're not like and I'm sure a lot of this came somewhat natural to me because I'm so tall. I was so tall for my weight class that I was able to step off of a kick and come back in with hands just because I was tall. That was a big attribute for me for sure. But there's specific drills and stuff, and maybe I'll make some videos and post some of the drills of stuff you can do to practice getting in and out to avoid kicking, or when they miss, coming in with hands and being able to box and land your shots. But guys, defense is key in all of this, and good coaching, honestly. If you have a coach that doesn't correct technique, you're going to be screwed if you think you're going to fight at a high level, or even if you're tough, athletic enough, got all the different attributes that could get you into the UFC. If you have shit coaching, you're probably most likely not going to stay there. The people that, I've said this in previous videos, but a lot of the people that go to the UFC that have shit coaching are the ones that go 2-2 and get cut. But if those same 2-2 guys in the UFC had higher level coaching, lots of them would be able to maintain a career and stay longer than what they do. And boxing is a big important one for that because a lot of gyms here in America teach a lot of Muay Thai, mostly like a lot of MMA gyms, right? It's one thing if you're going to one of these super camps, you're going to American Top Team or American Kickboxing Academy or Extreme Couture, some of these places, they already have the world-class coaching from day one, so you wouldn't have to worry about it. But if you're starting somewhere smaller, an area where you don't have high-level coaching, you need to figure that out because that could be a problem in itself. And in a boxing gym can be a problem as well because a lot of even boxing coaches just don't really teach defense. They teach people to brawl, just swing wild. And they focus a lot on bag work and a lot on conditioning, but they don't focus on defense. So make sure whoever you're with, a boxing coach or an MMA coach teaching you how to box for MMA, make sure they're teaching you defense. And I would say first of all, the coach can't give you something they don't have, right? So I would say ask them. Straight up ask them. And maybe if they're a good coach, they're going to go look up some stuff they could help and they could drill it a little bit and implement it and teach you how to do it. Because if you're obviously there's martial arts techniques that I can see on YouTube. I don't know how to do them. And I was a top 10 fighter in the UFC. So average coach is not going to just be able to do all these techniques, but you have the IQ of fighting in martial arts. You can learn techniques faster than someone that has no experience at all. You've been training for, let's say your coach has been training for 8 years. Well, you're going to learn faster than the guy that's been training for 6 months. Even if it's a technique you've never seen, you can pick it up faster, if that makes sense. So ask your coaches specifically about defense. Say, hey, can you give me 3 defenses that are really good that I need to focus on, or 5 defenses? What type of defense would I do in this situation? Show them videos. You have to, guys, if you want to get good at fighting, this is boxing or anything, jiu-jitsu, anything in life in general, but in martial arts, because this is an MMA channel, you got to ask questions. The more questions you ask, the better you're going to be able to get proficient at the moves that you want to get good at. So you got to ask questions and you got to get the answers and you got to drill them. And if you need to, I would used to ask questions about technique and I would video it. I have about 150 videos of different techniques from world-class coaches I have on my phone. And I'm going to start posting some of them on my YouTube channel as well, but I got to get permission from the guys. But sorry, I went on a little rant about boxing. Focus on the technique. Practice kickboxing where you're only boxing and they're kicking, so you can practice stepping off and avoiding and coming in with hands. And make sure you're being taught defense and you're drilling defense almost as much as offense, guys. Defense should be drilled almost as much as offense. So long answer, but there you go. Try that out. If there's any other subjects you'd like me to go over, just leave a comment below and I'll try to get back to you, make a video. If you're new to martial arts and you're looking for a gym in your area, get my book, The Ultimate Guide to Choosing Your Martial Arts School Instructor. Link is in the description.